Welcome back to another episode of Ty Sports Picks 24. I'm going to say it again, Ty Sports Picks 24. Now, we got an action-packed show. You see the title, Tyreke Hill's Dolphins or Tua Tagovailoa. You know, they've been speaking about Tyreke a lot, so I had to, put his name in the title. But the Tua/Tyreke Hill Dolphins versus Josh Allen Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. Now, before I get into the game, let's look at the picks. I put them all in one bunch. So we got the Dolphins money line and -1, or see if you can get it at minus a half a point. We're gonna take WNBA. We're gonna take the New York Liberty money line. We're gonna take MLB. These are all money line. If you don't see a point spread next to it, the Cleveland Guardians, Washington Nationals, Seattle Mariners, and the New York Yankees. Also, stay tuned for the rest of the show to get the bonus picks. You see that bonus pop up on the screen. I'm going to drop the bonus picks periodically throughout the show. But I want you guys to put those picks in. Also, while you're doing that, down at the bottom, there's the Cash App. Please donate to the channel, $TYRebel22, and follow me on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at TYSportsPicks24. It's down at the bottom. So it's a lot of topics I want to touch on today. First and foremost, with it being Thursday Night Football, we're going to hit on a lot of NFL topics. One thing I want to speak on before we get to the Dolphins and the Bills is Justin Fields of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This keeps on coming up. Well, there's a narrative that he can't pass, and maybe that is true. Even though he's kind of efficient, he's just not getting the touchdowns and the big plays. He'll throw an incomplete before an interception. But I do want to understand, why is this drop-off happening? Because I've seen a lot. We're going to actually check out something I want you guys to check out. I saw on Facebook in a second about coaching and quarterbacks and just coaching the players in general, even with college football. Because in college, in 2019, Justin Fields' first year with Ohio State, and his only full year as a starter, because he had that first year at Georgia, he actually had 41 passing touchdowns to go along with only 3 interceptions. And he had over, I think, like 10 rushing touchdowns and 400 plus, like 484 rushing yards. So he was more of a passer at Ohio State. Even in a short year, at like a 7 or 8 game season, when they went to the national championship and got blown out by Alabama in 2020, the COVID year, he had like 22 touchdowns, and I want to say maybe 6 interceptions, like 300 around 300 yards rushing, along with 4 rushing touchdowns. So that not making a lot of passing touchdowns and making a lot of interceptions, or like let's say a 2-to-1 ratio of touchdowns to interceptions, that's something new. It's not like he's a guy that didn't pass well in college. So is that coaching? Is that development? And the reason why I want to get into that, if we go over to Facebook, I'm bring it up in a second. I was looking at something that was very interesting on a page talking about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are going along with Lamar Jackson. Let me pull this up for you guys really quick, because this is very interesting. Other people are saying the same thing I'm saying, and this is going to tie into college football, NFL, all of that. Now, if you look at the screen, if you look up, give me 1 second. Okay, so you see these are the best in the game. Every year, these are the top for the MVP. And to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC, you got Patrick Mahomes, a 3-star. He was the number 30 quarterback. He was number 47. They moved him up number 30 in his class. You got Lamar Jackson was number 28. He was 18, so they moved him down. All 3-stars. Josh Allen, he wasn't even ranked. And then they put him at number 22 in his class. He went to Reedley College, which is a junior college. And from there, he went to Wyoming. Louisville for Lamar Jackson, Texas Tech for Patrick Mahomes. These guys got with coaches that coached them up, and now they're the greatest in the game. And how does that tie into things even in college football? Because this is all going to tie back to Justin Fields. Even in college football, like I promised you guys, I'll rewatch games. So I went over the Iowa State game, and one thing I noticed, it was similar talent. Both were a lot of 3-stars on both teams, but Iowa was very conservative. They don't really take a lot of chances, and that's what bit them in the behind. They did take one chance that when they were up like 19-7, they tried to go for 2 to make it 21. to make it an even number 14-point lead, but it was in the third quarter. That may have been a bonehead decision, maybe, maybe not. But other than that, they kind of did not want to throw it down the field too much, though they are throwing compared to last year. They were running it. Iowa State's defense would take chances, blitzing, doing different things. They got some interceptions because they were risk takers. You have two different approaches, but all of this comes down to coaching. So you have some teams like the Georgias, the Alabamas, not saying that they do this, but a lot of teams and a lot of fan bases think you're just going to out-talent people. Well, in the NFL, you can't do that. That's how Bill O'Brien beat Florida State at Boston College. In the NFL, is where it's equal talent, or anywhere where it's equal talent, high school, it comes down to who takes what they have and does the best with it. It comes down to strategy and outsmarting people. You know, you can't just always run somebody over. Even with Notre Dame when they lost to Northern Illinois, Notre Dame does have better dogs than Northern Illinois, but there's still dogs at Northern Illinois. You know, with them being so close to Chicago, those are a lot of inner city kids. They're a tough team. But on top of that, they just took more risks. The head coach being African-American, just like Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, the head coach from Northern Illinois actually offered help. And he wasn't joking or being facetious. He was just saying, hey, we beat you guys. I probably can teach you a few pointers. And I'm pretty sure what he's going to tell them is that whole conservative, we're just going to play defense and run the ball and short passes. That's cool. But even the Patriots, even Alabama that created that, they always had a Julio Jones, a Gronkowski, or Randy Moss, or even the Tim Browns. You don't take a lot of shots, but you do have to take your shots here or there. You just don't make a living taking shots. It's about balance. I just want you guys, educate you guys on sports, because a lot of people think, oh, they got the best talent. Oh, they take too many chances. Or they don't take no chances. All of that is wrong. It's about doing everything in moderation, because if I know you're going to do this, I can game plan for it. If I know you got talent, I'm going to try to go around your talent. It's like going through a brick wall. If I can't go through it, I'm gonna go over it or under it. It's the same thing, you know. And then also with talent, you got guys that think they're better than the team, bigger than the team. Like in the NFL, you got a lot of holdouts, so you got guys injured or whatever. When you depending on one player instead of a system, then you know you'll lose. That's why I don't advise people when they're betting to take player props, or just with the fantasy football thing. Like, this is real life. It's telling you in the title, fantasy. That means it's not real. In real life, talent only gets you so far. Your mind is what's going to win. You know what I mean? Even with the Florida State, I did touch on that with the Boston College thing. And one thing I want to say about Florida State versus Iowa and Notre Dame that I do feel like they're going to be successful this year, they have similar talent. I say Florida State may have a tad bit more talent, but the difference is the coach doesn't trust the players. They're not as disciplined as Iowa and Notre Dame, or even Kansas that lost to Illinois. But they also play conservative and don't take as many chances. So one thing Florida State has to do if they're going to beat Memphis, because Memphis is disciplined, but Memphis takes a lot of chances, similar to Iowa State, similar to Northern Illinois. First, you need to be disciplined. So all of those guys on that defensive line asking for that big NIL, or even DJU, I heard they don't want to sit DJU or Graham Mertz at Florida State in Florida because of how much NIL they're getting, and the seniors might turn on you. Look, Kirby Smart had issues with players, and he tried to let it slide. I've seen it before when you're dealing with young people. At some point, you don't want to abuse, but there's a difference between abuse and discipline. If somebody's doing something wrong, they cannot be bigger than the program, or they're going to bring it down. So if you have a bunch of guys that are not getting it done, you need to take them out of this lineup. And if they decide they want to hit the portal or they want to retire, so be it. Addition by subtraction. You know what I mean? Because if we have a lot of great players, but they're going in different directions, then you will lose to a Memphis. You will lose to an Iowa State, even though Iowa and Iowa State will equal. You will lose to a Northern Illinois if you're Notre Dame. But even if you get the discipline down and you get the conservative play, because I like conservative play, but you do have to take your shots here and there. Now, coming to the Kansas-Illinois game, I would say Kansas is probably equal to Illinois. Illinois may have a little bit more talent. Kansas just got the big name because they were ranked and they played well last year. Long story short, Illinois was conservative. They were disciplined, but they took chances. Kansas also took chances. It just maybe they took too many chances, plus they were on the road. They got burnt, but they did play hard. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is these four teams, Iowa, Notre Dame, Florida State, and Kansas, all were ranked teams. They took L's in the last 2 weeks, but the difference is Iowa, Notre Dame, and Kansas, you saw fight in them. You saw dog in them. All they need is their coach to schematically take some chances, throw the ball down the field, or what Kansas maybe pull back and be a little conservative. IU and Notre Dame just need to take more chances, and maybe they need to find some guys with some more speed. Kansas has all of that. They just need to reel it in. They took too many chances. It's about balance. Versus Florida State, you got to get that discipline problem in check first, something that the other three do have. Then you have to take chances the way Kansas does. So Florida State has a discipline problem, unlike Iowa, Notre Dame, and Kansas, but they also have a lack of chance taking like Iowa and Notre Dame. Kansas is okay. They just need to cut back on taking too many chances. And I tie this all in is because a lot of people talk about the talent this, the talent that, the talent that. Patrick Mahomes, you see it right there, 3-star. Lamar Jackson, 3-star. Josh Allen, 3-star. Josh Allen was doing horrible even when he first got in the NFL, and everybody mysteriously forgets Brian Daboll helped him come to fruition as a star player. But that's what coaching does. You don't get $10 million and just throw them out there and be like, oh, you talented, do it on your own. There's a lot of lazy teachers, a lot of lazy coaching, and that's why your team is losing. So now let's move on to another team that took a big loss to Texas 2 weeks ago in Colorado State, the rival of Colorado. They see Colorado weak, they're down. They know they beat them last year in a dog fight. I believe it almost went to overtime, or maybe it did. That's when Travis Hunter got hit and got put out the game. They thought it was a dirty hit. Travis met up with the safety from Colorado State and said it was cool. But it seems like the safety might be cool, but a lot of other people on Colorado State are talking a whole lot of trash. I'm going to see if I can find it on Facebook. If not, we'll go to Instagram and we'll start that segment early because, I like to go on Instagram and let you guys see what's going on in the world of college and NFL. Okay, so also on Instagram, look, if you see that Boise State, Colorado State, who we're going to speak on in a second, Fresno State, Oregon State, San Diego State, and Washington State are now the new Pac-12. So that's 6 teams. They're still searching for more teams. Some people want Hawaii to join. Some people want BYU. That's probably not going to happen because they just joined the Big 12, and the Big 12 is kind of at odds with the Pac-12. I think, the Mountain West, where they stole these 4 teams from, I'm thinking about getting North Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State, also Montana and Montana State, because those are winning programs from the FCS level. So maybe the Pac-12 just stick to 6 teams and have 6 non-conference games, or maybe they all play Notre Dame once a year. I mean, they can figure it out, but I like what they're doing thus far. I would like to see Hawaii in the new Pac-12. Maybe they can add them. I'm trying to think who else is available who hasn't just added a conference. But let's see what else and see that's the zoom in on it. So you see breaking news. You see Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, and Fresno State. And they've all beat Power 5 teams or been close to going to New Year's 6 if they didn't go to New Year's 6. Colorado State is actually going to be the primetime game on CBS hosting Colorado on Saturday night. But let's see the smack talk that was going on. I'm going to see if it's on here. If not, I know it's definitely on Instagram. Okay, here it goes. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but you see this is the wide receiver that turned down $600,000 to stay at Colorado State. He said, my ultimate goal is not NIL. In college, it's the next level, which is the NFL. His name is Troy Horton. I spoke on that earlier in the year, but I want to get to what Troy and his quarterback and a lot of people were talking about with Colorado. Okay, I'm not seeing it right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip over to Instagram because I definitely saw it earlier on Instagram. But it's a lot of trash talking. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know the Gators, they did it at first, but then they quieted down and it was more the fans talking. But I remember the Gators quarterback, Graham Mertz, said that to Ja'Cory Harris. Remember, he said, why would I have to get ready for a sorry team like Miami? But the Hurricanes did their trash talking during the game. And, of course, you saw what the coach did on the sideline. If you didn't see it, hey, okay. Oh yeah, you guys can't see it yet. So let me pull this up on the screen. So these are some of the schools that the Pac-12 is thinking about joining. And a lot of people are saying Memphis shouldn't go to a West Coast conference. Well, they got Cal and Stanford in the ACC, so it seems like it doesn't matter, And then in the Big Ten, you got UCLA, Oregon, Washington, and USC. But these are some of the teams. And think about basketball, because this is going to be a good basketball conference too. Memphis. In the NBA, they play in the Western Conference, and so does New Orleans. But they're looking at Memphis, They're looking at Tulane, which is in New Orleans, to join the Pac-12. They're trying to see if they can snatch them from the American Conference. Also, UTSA in San Antonio, which San Antonio Spurs are in the West, are in the in the Western Conference. Now, Cal, that's not going to happen. They just joined the ACC. Stanford, that's not going to happen. UNLV, that's a possibility. UNLV is making a lot of noise, and they got a big game against Kansas tomorrow night. Air Force, I think that definitely will happen. It's an academy, and Air Force, believe it or not, I know a lot of people love Navy because of the recent times, but historically, all three won. But in my lifetime, in the last 20 years or so, Air Force has been a more consistent program than Navy and Army. Okay, Wyoming, that's a possibility. New Mexico, I don't really think they'll take them because New Mexico hasn't been a consistent winning program. But I want to find Colorado State for a second. Let me see if I can find a Colorado State, because they were talking a lot of smack about Coach Prime, especially after he took that big loss to rival Nebraska. Now they got another rivalry game. These are back-to-back rivalry games for Colorado. Let me see if I can find the Colorado State guys. If I can't, then I just have to type in Colorado State. I know I saw it. Okay, it's just a lot of things going on in the world of college football. Let me go to CFB. It should be right here. I don't know, but I definitely saw it. I apologize to you guys. I'll just type in Colorado State and see if it comes up. But basically, they were saying that they should have we're not gonna say the M word, because YouTube, but they should have deleted Colorado's football program, meaning Colorado State should have did that. They were saying that it shouldn't even been close last year, but it was close and they actually lost, after blowing them out at first. But Colorado State is talking a lot leading up to this rivalry game. You got the head coach talking about Coach Prime, saying that you need to take off your glasses and your hat. And that's type of stuff he said last year. I'm gonna see if this is it, because I'm hearing a lot about Colorado State. Okay, no. Okay, we just gonna work through this. I'm sorry with the technical difficulties. I had it up on my phone, but sometimes when you go on the computer, it's a little bit different. But another thing I want to touch on while I'm looking for that, because I am gonna find it. Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins, along with Tyreek Hill, they are going up against the Buffalo Bills tonight at 8:00 on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. If you're local in the Miami area, I believe they should have it on the CW or the My Network. Try one of those, like Channel 33 or Channel 39. I'm still searching for this Colorado State thing. But basically, the Dolphins are favored by 2.5 in that game. And a lot of people are looking forward to that game. Okay, yeah. So this is him talking about how they owed up. So he's saying that that's been on their mind since last year. He's saying that they should have deleted Colorado. He's saying they're not a Cinderella story. And they're saying they don't like Colorado's attitude. They don't like that they were favored by 27 points last year. They say that it's going to be a rude awakening. And they're saying it's a hype in the media train. You know what? Speaking of 27.5 points, I want to see what the Colorado and Colorado State line is for this week. I'm not going to give you my prediction, but I'll tell you right now if I like the line. I'm just going to tell you if I like the line. So this is quarterback and the wide receiver that turned down 600,000. So they say, we got to take their word for it. But I want to see what's the Colorado versus Colorado State line for Saturday. What is the point spread? So I'm gonna find that for you guys. Just give me 1 second, because even though this is a big Thursday night for NFL football, and along with you got the big game between Texas State and Arizona State on ESPN. So if you can't get the NFL game, you can definitely keep up with that on your phone, but you can watch that college football game on ESPN, because both of those teams are undefeated unexpectedly. Okay, so Colorado versus Colorado State is -7 for Colorado, so it's not 27 like it was last year. And it's on the road. It's at Colorado State. So basically, Colorado State does not like the fact that they're being seen as a cakewalk. That's still not the exact one that I wanted you guys to see. I'm kind of disappointed. You know, I always like to deliver, but that is pretty much the gist of it. They were saying that they don't like how the media is, you know, hyping up Coach Prime in Colorado, and they're getting all this hype, you know, all these news clippings, and they just feel like they have something to say about it. And you know, rivalry games, sometimes it is smack talk. It's part of college football. I know a lot of people don't like it, but hey, that's what it is. Also in Colorado news, we got Paul Feinbaum, your favorite uncle. He says this thing feels like it's heading for okay. Yeah, it's headed for disintegration. At some point, I think Deion Sanders is gonna say, "I got to get out of here and go someplace else." Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes I struggle seeing things. I know you guys can't hear it, but this is Paul Feinbaum talking. It's kind of like a grainy video. You see Deion, you know what I mean? Deion is quoting this saying, "I'm not lost. I'm not looking for my identity. We're trying to win. We're trying to get guys to the next level." And also, I don't know if you guys saw the video last week, well, earlier this week, where he was saying to the guys, I wonder if we can find that one. He was basically telling his offensive linemen, okay, here it goes. I showed it the other day. He says, have in your mind, because you know they missed a lot of blocks and they didn't block for Shedeur Sanders. He says, when you're blocking, I want you to think, if I don't make this block, my mother will not eat. Because you know they're getting the NIL money, name, image, and likeness, but also they're looking for that NFL money. So if you don't block, and I think that goes for the wide receiver, not the wide receivers, they're doing great, but even with the running backs, when they get their chances, if I don't make this run, my mama won't eat. If I don't make this tackle on defense, this sack, my mama won't eat. So I think that whole team, not just the offensive line, needs to see that. You know what I mean? So I think the whole Colorado team, especially going against Colorado State, soon to be of the Pac-12, but they're not of the Pac-12 yet. They're still in the G5, and they're talking like they're not only going to beat you, but they said that they're going to delete your program. You know, I'm not going to say the M word because of YouTube, but they said they're going to delete your program. You know what I mean? So that's very interesting, you know. And we just saw with Patrick Mahomes, with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, even though they're quarterbacks, but this goes to all positions. Even J.J. Watt was a 3-star and a walk-on at one point. I think he was only a 3-star as a transfer. But long story short, it doesn't take a lot of talent. It takes a lot of brain power and a lot of heart. You know, it takes some talent. I'm not saying that if you weren't blessed with anything, you could just go out on the field. But I think, you know, those guys have to have the right mentality, because Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame. Boston College beat Florida State. Memphis is going to be on Florida State bumper. I think they've already beaten them before when Florida State was actually good in like 2016 in the Peach Bowl. So it's happened before. You know, Memphis is seeing, you see they're being looked at to possibly join the Power 5 conference in the Pac-12, you know. So it's not like Memphis is a pushover. But I just feel like, you know, a lot of these big schools need to get the right mindset, and even these smaller schools need to get the right mindset as far as football goes, and as far as, you know, just being a champion and just having that champion mind state and understanding that, you know, it takes heart. Okay, I think this might be the one I'm looking for. Oh, no, it's the same video. That's the same video. Okay, yeah. So I guess I got to let it go. But, yeah, man, I hate when I think I'm going to deliver to you guys on something. Okay, now this is the coach of Northern Illinois, because they're saying which group of 5 team makes it to college football playoff in the following scenario. So if South Florida is 12-1, that's not going to happen. They're saying because they already lost to Bama and then they play Miami. So let's say they're 11-2. Okay, you got an undefeated Northern Illinois with a win over Notre Dame and a win over NC State. I don't think they beat NC State. Well, maybe. I don't know. I take that back. They might. Then you got a Boise State, a 12-1 with a loss to Oregon. So who do you guys think should be the group of 5 team that makes it to the playoff? That's very interesting. Yeah, man, that's kind of a bummer that I can't find the video. I saw it earlier. You know, it's like sometimes Instagram on the computer isn't the same as the phone. I should have saved it. Yeah, I should have saved it. I wanted you guys to see it, see the trash that was being spoken. And I'm not promoting it or hyping it up. It's just it's very interesting to see, you know, Colorado State. You know, they're feeling themselves. They, you know, they definitely, you know, feel like they're the program that's, you know, gonna bring Colorado to their knees, as you know they already been brought to their knees based on what happened last week. But I guess they want to really stick a fork in them and delete them. Yeah, but basically, you guys have the picks for today. If you don't, let me pull them back up. You got Miami money line and -1. You got it in the WNBA. You got the Liberty money line, and then in the MLB you got Cleveland, Washington, Seattle, and the New York Yankees money line. So that's going to be the show for today. Please put in those picks. I hope you guys win and win big. See you.